Hey there. I just want to show how data stewards, or anyone really that is using Soda AI, can very quickly manage their instrumentation of their data quality tooling, or get information of a data source to see what's happening and to basically iterate on your data quality tooling and to make it better. So you can see here we have a data source called marketing signals. And basically it has a bunch of data contracts on it. Some of them are passing, some checks are failing. And we're going to talk to Soda AI and kind of figure out, hey, what's going on here? And does it all make sense? Can we improve it? Is there anything that we need to be doing or looking for? So I'm going to quickly ask Soda AI, what's the overall situation of the marketing signals data source? And is there anything we can do to improve the setup? All right. Soda AI got back to us, and it says that this data source is active and fairly well onboarded. It has 13 onboarded data sources out of 39, but that most of the rest are technical tables that we shouldn't really care about. We have 175 checks in all of our data contracts that are on these data sets with an average health score of 90% with no incidents, and that all the data sets are owned by me. And then it gave us basically a high-level summary of the health of each individual data set, how many checks it has, and some notes like main hotspot, uniqueness, and format issues on identity contact fields. Now, it also does some analysis and tells you what the main risks are, what it thinks that we should be improving, the recommended checks to add. It also took a highlight that metrics monitoring is actually completely disabled on this data source, and that there's some value that we can get there for using our time series anomaly detection system to look at things like row count trends and freshness patterns. There's a lot of info here, but it can basically help you get your data quality in the best possible state so that you're monitoring everything that matters. And then basically it gives you a recommended step of actions. And I'm going to say, you know what? I trust you here. Execute on it all. As Soda AI is running, I would love to walk through a little bit about the details of these recommended steps. So it's asking you to add checks on the signals table because this is currently a table with no checks at all. It's asking you to triage some failed checks across key tables and enable metrics monitoring on core datasets. These are all very useful and pragmatic things. You know, in the past, you would have to manually look at all of your datasets. You would have to think about all these things. And I'm not saying that the input of a human is not necessary. It is. But having some coverage, which is actually pretty good coverage, generated by Soda AI, gets you into a state of usefulness much faster. And then you can work together with Soda AI, like I'm doing right now, to give it your business knowledge and to take your coverage and your data quality situation to the next level. And it gets some pretty detailed things in here. One of the ones I like is adding tags or attributes. So to really basically tag these data sets. So from a governance perspective, to just understand what these data sets are a bit better if someone else comes on working on them. Like, this is a marketing domain, clearly. Some tables have a high criticality. This is part of the marketing signals pipeline. And then you can even build better workflows and more complex workflows on top once you have those tags in place. And now we told it, hey, I trust you. Let's do everything. And it goes, I'm ready to execute, but I just want to make a confirmation. So you as a human, you as a data steward, you as a data analyst, you are still in the loop here. And you can give your input and you can guide the AI. But the key thing here is really automation and working at a scale that you haven't been able to work at before, instead of having to tediously go through and do everything relatively manually or with the help of a data engineer. So what is it asking us to do right now? What's the execution plan? First, verifying the existence of a contract. And then generating those contracts. And then to turn on the metrics monitoring on the core datasets for important columns, and to add anomaly detection for, again, those key columns within those highly critical datasets. And again, it's warning you here, I will not do this automatically. You need to confirm. So I'm going to confirm. Yes, it all looks good. Go ahead. And it will start now executing on this plan. that we have developed together. And so this shows how Soda AI is not only super useful for getting started when you onboard a new data source, but also when you already have a mature and established data source with plenty of data contracts, and which you can then iterate together with Soda AI to get to a much better state of coverage and of health for your data. So Soda AI went and did 34 actions. Basically gave us a summary of what it was able to do and some of the things it wasn't able to do. So Soda AI, it's an AI system. It helps you get work done faster. The human is in the loop. It needs your input sometimes. So what we were able to do successfully, we were able to verify an existing contract, add tags to all of the relevant data sets, set time partition columns for metrics monitoring, and some things that were blocked. It wasn't able to generate a contract on a couple of data sets, and metrics monitoring couldn't be enabled because it needed a scan schedule and a data set level monitor. And then at the end, it basically tells us, hey, this is what we improved, this is where we are, and now what are the recommended next steps? I'm going to go ahead and see if I can just tell it to enable metrics monitoring on the core data sets with a daily schedule. It's telling me to do it in the UI. You know how AI is sometimes, but let's see if we can get it to do it, because it's always better to do it via AI. Can you try to enable metrics monitoring with daily schedule as default? I trust your configuration settings. So we were able to create metrics monitoring on a daily schedule. It was very cautious, experimenting on one data set and then scaling it out to the rest. So we now have dataset monitors enabled on our 6 core datasets for row count, scheduled for daily, a daily run at 12 UTC. And we also have a bunch of relevant column metric monitors for our core tables, things like the count, missing percentages, etc., etc. And it's actually recommending what is the next best thing to do to get our data quality state to the next level. Well, Soda metrics monitoring allows you to backfill up to 1 year. And so these data sets were onboarded relatively recently. So it's saying, hey, let's run the historical backfilling. So we have our anomaly detection ran in the past, so we can understand what was going on with our data, and maybe we'll catch some anomalies that we didn't know exist. So I'm just going to tell Soda AI, run backfilling. And so basically, regardless of where you are in your data quality journey and where you are in your implementation of Soda, whether you're just getting started or you already have a mature environment, you can use Soda AI to get yourself to the next level. You can increase your coverage. You can iterate on your rules. You can make better data contracts with your business and domain knowledge. And the key unlock here with Soda AI is the scale and speed in which you're able to do this. And I think that's a very powerful thing. And so now historical backfilling is starting to run. And by the time it's done, we'll have backfilling for metrics monitors, and we're going to check back in and see where are we in terms of our data quality and what improvements have we made. The backfilling has run. And so we're just going to see, thanks. What improvements have we made in this session? Can you give me a summary concisely? And now you can see everything we've done in just this short session. We've got a contract running on our signals dataset with all checks passing. We've organized our data sources using relevant attributes. We set up metrics monitoring and enabled it on key columns where we cover things like record count, signal volume, missing emails, etc. And we started historical metrics backfilling on our key data sets. And so you can do a lot with Soda AI. In just a short session, you can greatly improve the coverage of data quality and data observability on your data sets. You can give it your domain knowledge, and you can take your data quality to the next level.